Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are tearing into a classic of modern personal finance. And this isn't about, cutting coupons or skipping your lattes. We're building a machine.
That's right.
We are deep diving into Ramit Sethi's I Will Teach You to Be Rich.
And that is the perfect way to frame it, a machine. Our mission today is really to pull the strategic levers from this material.
Right.
Sethi doesn't just offer gentle advice. He lays out this rigorous, practical 6-week program.
6 weeks.
Yeah, and it's all focused on building an automated financial infrastructure.
So it's about the system.
Exactly. And what gives the book its edge is his background. He studied technology and psychology.
Oh, okay.
So the whole system is engineered to leverage human nature,
Hmm.
especially our tendency to be, a little lazy.
Using laziness for financial gain. I like that.
It works.
I really appreciate that focus on systems over just willpower. If you feel overwhelmed by financial clutter, this deep dive is your blueprint. We're going to cover the foundational wins. That's credit and banking. Then we'll get into this revolutionary idea, the conscious spending plan.
The anti-budget.
Exactly. Then we'll jump to simple, hands-off investing, and finally, look at how to maintain the whole thing long-term.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, let's jump straight into the foundation, starting with credit.
Okay.
We've all heard the advice about frugality, save a few dollars here, clip some coupons there.
Sure, the latte factor.
Right. But the core insight here is so much more powerful. Good credit is worth a fortune. Frugality saves you dollars, but good credit saves tens of thousands of dollars over your lifetime.
That contrast is essential. It's about leverage. And people often confuse two things.
Sure.
You have your credit report, which is basically the detailed history of your behavior. It's your financial story.
Okay.
And then you have the credit score. That's the 3-digit number, 300, 8, and 50, that lenders use to just numerically calculate your risk.
And the number one factor for that score is?
The single most critical action, according to FICO itself, is simply paying your bills on time.
It sounds so basic.
It is, but it's everything.
And implementation is key. Sethi gives us the 6 commandments of credit cards, which are all about leveraging the system.
Right. Actionable steps.
We know to pay bills regularly, that's number 1, but he also says set up automatic payments immediately.
Which removes the human error element. You can't forget.
Exactly. And another one is to request credit limit increases periodically.
Yes. And that is so key because it ties into a concept you really need to get. The utilization ratio.
Explain that.
It's just the percentage of credit you're using compared to your total limit. So say your limit is $10,000 and you owe $1,000.
That's 10%.
Right. Now, if you ask for and get an increase to $20,000, your debt is the same, but your ratio instantly drops to 5%.
And that boosts your score.
Instantly. It's a powerful, free financial lever.
That's much clearer.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, there are 2 major mistakes to avoid. Don't close old accounts because that shortens your credit history and hurts your utilization ratio.
Right. It shrinks your total available credit.
And generally, avoid those complex balance transfer schemes. They can be tricky.
They often have hidden fees or, really tight deadlines that are easy to miss.
So once credit is solid, we move to cash flow. Beating the banks.
I love this part. Banks make money in 2 main ways. Lending at our deposits and charging us fees.
Lots of fees.
All the fees. And the book is adamant that avoiding fees is mathematically way more important than chasing a high interest rate.
Give me an example.
Okay, a single painful $35 overdraft fee can be 3 times more than the total interest you might earn on $1,000 in savings over an entire year.
Wow. When you put it like that.
It's a losing game.
And that's why the banking action steps focus so heavily on separating where you put your money.
Exactly.
You have online banks versus traditional banks.
And the difference is huge. Because online banks have lower overhead, they consistently offer way higher interest rates. We're seeing like 2.5 to 5% right now.
Compared to, 0.5% at a big traditional bank? If you're lucky.
If you're lucky, yeah. So the action plan is bifurcated. It's 2-pronged.
Okay.
You open a no-fee checking account, maybe at a local credit union.
Yeah.
That's for your day-to-day cash or ATM access.
Right.
Then you open a separate high-interest savings account at an online bank. That is where your money actually grows.
And you have to watch out for the marketing tricks.
Oh, absolutely. Avoid those short-lived teaser rates or, the accounts that impose minimum balances. They're just tools to make your money sticky.
Okay, so we've automated the foundation. Credit's in good shape. Cash flow is set up correctly. But how do we decide where all that cash should go? This is where traditional budgeting just fails for most people.
It fails because it demands we track every single penny, and that leads to guilt and, eventual burnout. It's just not sustainable.
So what's the alternative?
This is where the conscious spending plan comes in, and it fundamentally reframes frugality.
I like this idea.
Sethi argues that being frugal isn't about eliminating joy. It's about spending extravagantly on the things you truly love.
Like a $4,000 trip or designer clothes, whatever it is for you.
Exactly. And then you cut costs mercilessly on the things you don't actually care about.
Your cable TV, subscriptions you forgot you had.
All that stuff.
I see the genius in that, but let me introduce some real-world skepticism here. The plan details 4 categories, with 50 to 60% for fixed costs.
Right.
For a listener in a high cost of living city where rent alone might swallow 40%, isn't hitting that number a massive challenge?
That's a great challenge. And the book doesn't shy away from it.
Okay,
It
duh.
demands that if you can't hit those targets, the fixed costs have to be aggressively renegotiated or reduced.
So that could mean moving or selling a car?
It could. It's a hard choice, but that 20 to 35% guilt-free spending category only works if you get the fixed costs contained first.
So the plan gives you permission to spend only after you've handled the important stuff.
That's it. You've fulfilled the core requirements.
Which are fixed costs, that's 50 to 60%. Long-term investments, 10%. Savings goals, 5 to 10%. And then that crucial guilt-free spending money, 20 to 35%.
And the only way to maintain those percentages is through a financial autopilot. Chapter 5. Save while sleeping.
I like the sound of that.
The principle is the curve of doing more before doing less. You invest a few hours of work up front to build the system.
And then it saves you hundreds of hours of stress and management later.
Exactly.
This all relies on the power of defaults.
Yes. Since humans are inherently lazy, and the author is very open about that, if you make the right financial decision, the default action, it just happens.
Without effort. So you automate transfers for savings, investments, bills.
You're essentially making every dollar decision once up front.
So the action is to set up a comprehensive automatic money flow.
Right. You link your checking, your high-yield savings, and your investment accounts, and then you schedule all the transfers to align with your paydays.
And once that system's running,
You should spend less than 30 minutes a month actively managing your money. That, to me, is the definition of a rich life. Minimizing the time spent worrying about cash flow.
okay, the cash flow is optimized. It's running on autopilot. Now we need to focus on growth. Why invest? I mean, saving at 3% is okay, but it's modest.
Compared to historical investing averages around 8%, yeah. This is where compounding really takes over.
As Einstein is often quoted saying, compounding is mankind's greatest invention.
And what's fascinating here is Sethi's attack on the myth of financial expertise.
Oh, this is good.
He uses this great analogy about a study where even accredited wine experts couldn't reliably tell the difference between the same $12 bottle and a $1,200 bottle of wine.
Wait, really? The experts couldn't tell.
They couldn't. And the takeaway is that expertise should be measured by results. And when you look at financial pundits and stock pickers, the results are, well, they're notoriously unreliable.
The numbers are damning. Something like 75% of actively managed fund managers fail to beat the market.
Over any sustained period, yeah. Which proves that most of us can easily, and more importantly, cheaply, do better on our own.
Without paying those huge professional fees.
Right. This leads to the simple solution, automatic investing. The source material stresses that the focus should not be on picking individual stocks.
Right. Don't try to find the next Apple.
Please don't. The focus should be on asset allocation.
Which is just deciding how much of your money is on the risk dial, the split between stocks, bonds, and cash.
And that one decision controls over 90% of your portfolio's risk and its eventual return.
So what does this mean in terms of actionable investment choices?
First, your 401k. You maximize your contributions, at least enough to get the full employer match.
Because that's literally free money.
It is the only free money you will ever get in your life. Beyond that, the primary recommendation is low-cost index funds.
Why index funds specifically?
Because their costs are so low. That fee difference alone allows them to consistently outperform the more expensive, actively managed mutual funds over the long run.
And for the absolute simplest, most hands-off approach.
The book highlights life cycle funds. You might also see them called target date funds.
And how do those work?
They're the easiest option because they're basically bundles of low-cost index funds that automatically adjust their asset allocation for you over time.
So if you're young, it's mostly stocks.
Mostly stocks for
Yeah.
growth. And as you get closer to retirement, it automatically shifts to hold more stable bonds to reduce risk. It requires zero annual effort from you.
Okay, so once that automated investment system is in place, how do we keep it running without, constantly tinkering with it? This is the 85% solution.
Right, because perfection is the enemy of good. Maintenance is designed to be minimal. Once the infrastructure is built, you just focus on two key concepts.
What's the first one?
First is rebalancing. Annually, you just adjust your portfolio back to your intended asset allocation.
So if stocks had a great year and are now a bigger piece of the pie than you wanted,
You don't necessarily sell them. You just direct your new contributions more heavily into your underperforming asset, like bonds, until the percentages are back in line.
which keeps your risk profile consistent without triggering a bunch of fees from selling.
Exactly. And the second concept,
This one might be the hardest psychologically. Ignore the noise.
yes, stay utterly consistent with your automatic strategy. Don't let market fluctuations, media panic, or political drama deter your long-term plan.
The market plunges of today will look like tiny blips on the chart decades from now.
They always do. Consistency is everything.
And this entire structure, this whole machine, is built toward defining your rich life.
Right. And as the author stresses, it's not just about hitting a specific dollar amount. It's about having the freedom not to worry about money all the time.
So you can travel, work on personal projects, fund the things that bring you actual joy.
That's what it's all about.
And that freedom influences the big life decisions. For example, student loans versus investing.
The classic dilemma. The book suggests a kind of hybrid 50-50 approach. You tackle high-interest debt while also investing, depending on the loan rate.
And on housing.
The rule is strict. Only buy if you are absolutely planning to live in the same place for 10 years or more.
10 years, that's a high bar.
It is. Finally, the book stresses the importance of financial communication in relationships and just taking personal control.
The ultimate takeaway is pretty blunt.
It is. It's time to grow up,
Yeah.
manage our money ourselves. No more reliance on biased experts or unnecessary BS.
Okay, so let's quickly put the pieces together for you one last time.
Let's do it.
Build that strong foundation of credit and high-interest banking.
Then implement the guilt-free conscious spending plan
Set that money flow on autopilot.
and invest simply and consistently in low-cost index funds.
It's a powerful, simple system.
It is. And if we look at the bigger picture of what a rich life truly means, moving beyond just personal accumulation, the source suggests automating goals beyond your immediate needs,
Like what?
specifically philanthropy. Even automating small amounts, like $100 a month, makes a difference. And sharing your hard-earned financial knowledge contributes positively to society.
I love that.
So the provocative thought for you to consider is this. Once your system is fully optimized, what is the one goal beyond personal wealth accumulation that you will automate into your rich life?